Hello, everybody. Did you guys miss me? Anyways, so welcome to Mafufu Speaks, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about natural hair. As some of you guys know, I'm natural, meaning that I don't relax my hair, I don't put any chemicals on my hair, you know. So I've received quite a lot of questions, asking how do I manage my hair, what do I use on my hair, so I decided, the next few podcasts, I've not decided yet. I'll call them the natural hair series, if I can put it that way, because there's just so much to natural hair that one can't actually put everything in one podcast, because then my podcast will be like 3 hours long. So I'll break them down for this podcast. I will speak about the things that I did when I first went natural, which was like 5 years ago or something like that. It's been a while, but I think I can say that I've always been natural, but then I was more of a straightener than a relaxer. So I wouldn't relax my hair, but then I used heat to manipulate my hair to straighten it. So my hair was always straight because I have a full head of hair. So I would straighten it, and then it would be straight, it would be big, and then you'll see that I have a weave or a wig on when I had straightened my hair. And heat also damages the hair. So let me not say I was natural, I was just straightening my hair, because I was not natural. Because when you're natural, it's just to keep your hair in its natural state. So I was more of a heat to hair kind of a person, which is also as bad as relaxing, because with relaxing, the chemicals they damage the hair. With straightening, the heat damages your hair. So I'm gonna talk about the things that I first did when I first went natural. And I might also talk about some of the products that I used when I first went natural, and some of the products that I use now, because now I make my own hair products. But then not everybody then needs to go natural and start making their own natural hair products. It's just for some people choose it. It gives you power and control over what goes into your hair. But then for some people, they just do not have the time to actually learn how to do it and to actually then start doing it. So okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about what I first did when I went natural. Okay, so most natural bloggers will tell you that you have to cut your hair to go natural. They call it the big chop. So what I did when I first went natural, later on I did cut my hair, but then what I did when I first went natural was that I just simply stopped straightening it and stopped relaxing it. Then eventually, the new growth would grow, and then I'll trim and cut off the relaxed parts, the damaged parts of the hair, because that part was damaged because of the heat and the manipulation that I had done to it when I used to straighten it. And then so that they call transitioning. And then you can then do the big chop, or you literally just shave your head, and then you go natural by then letting your natural hair grow out of your head, and you don't use any chemicals or heat to manipulate it. You just maintain it, you manage it, and you keep it that way. Once you go natural, you need to keep your hair moisturized. That means washing it once a week. I wash mine every 2 weeks because I am lazy to wash it once a week, So yeah, it will depend on your schedule as an individual, and also just keeping it moisturized. That would be maybe using a spritz or a spray bottle. With mine, it's a combination of just water and carrot oil. And then I'll mix it real quick. Like, it's already in the bottle, and then in the morning I'll just shake it a bit. Then I spray my hair. So that I do like every 3 days. Again, that's because I am a lazy natural, And then washing your hair is very important, because it prevents breakage, which is the number one problem you face when you go natural. And also when you wash your hair, then you get to like detangle it, to clean your scalp, then you open up your pores for hair growth, and you keep it moisturized, because your hair needs moisture so that it doesn't break. And then another thing, you can use oils. Obviously you should use oils, but then you must remember that with oils they don't moisturize your hair, but then they lock in the moisture. So you then wash your hair, and then you lock in the moisture that you got from the water from washing your hair with the oils that you use. And you sealed in the moisture. So when you just apply oil only to your hair, you're not necessarily moisturizing it, because oil does not serve as a moisturizer to your hair. And then try to have your hair in protective styles during winter. That's when most breakage occurs. That's what I've noticed with my hair. Like, the breakage in winter, guys, like, go rough, And then protective styles are your braids, cornrows, weaves, and wigs, which whatever floats your boat. I personally use wigs and braids as protective styles, and then the wigs that I use are Afro wigs that match my own hair. So unless I told you, Hori, I have a wig on, you would not know, You would think, oh my gosh, your hair has grown so much, And with braids, try not to keep them on more than 6 weeks at most. I can't have braids on for more than a month, to be quite honest. I get tired of the same style, and with what I've noticed with my hair is that build-up happens real quick, So I'll end up losing a lot of length and hair when I take them out and I wash and I'm detangling it, because all that product that I've been using on my hair, because you must still maintain your natural and protect it, because it still get dry even if it's in a protective style. You find that there's a lot of build-up because my hair doesn't absorb oils that well, so I never keep braids on for more than a month, and I'll usually wash my braids every 2 weeks. So that means I'll have washed my braids twice in the month that I had the braids on, and then the next time I take the braids off, and then I'll wash my hair. And then so try not to leave your natural hair out for more than 2 weeks at a time, to avoid breakage, and also to avoid having your hands in your hair, because then you must style and manipulate it, then that will lead to breakage. And then avoid dryers. Like, the heat is not good for your hair. Every 3 months is fine. Some say every 6 months. I personally do not use heat on my hair. If I can recall, in the last 12 months, I didn't use heat on my hair. I don't like it. It's just, I feel like there are ways of stretching your hair and styling your hair without necessarily having to use a blow dryer or a straightener. However, I do own a dryer, just in case maybe there's a specific style that I want to go to, or there's an occasion that I feel like I need to maybe blow out my hair. But I'm not a fan of heat. But then you can decide whether you want to use heat or not. But you must not use heat every month, because then it defeats the purpose, because you will complain of breakage. And there are products that you need to chemicals. Let me not say products. Let me say there are certain chemicals that you need to avoid. I'm just going through my papers right now to read out a few of them, but then I think what I'll do is I will list some of them in the description box. So gluten, some of them I can't pronounce, like I'll say those ones that I can pronounce or that I can struggle to pronounce for you guys. Parabens, paraffin, petroleum and mineral oils, sulfates, and then the other ones I can't pronounce, but then I will write them in the description box. And then when you buy your products, you must just read the ingredients. If you don't recognize the first 3 ingredients, I suggest that you don't buy it. Why do you want that on your hair? Or if the first 3 ingredients are of things that you're like, okay, fine, these chemicals are the ones that are on the avoid list, then don't buy it. Because with ingredients, the first 2 ingredients listed are the ingredients that the product contains a lot of, So also my rule, whenever it doesn't apply now, but because I usually make my own. But when I'm buying like the ingredients to like make my own, some of the ingredients I make myself as well. But then I always read the ingredients. If I don't recognize the first three ingredients, I am not buying that product. And when I first went natural, because I don't expect you guys to go natural and start making your own hair products, and even if we've been natural for years, I do not expect everybody to make their own hair products. But then the products that I use were, jojoba oil. I use almond oil, and then on my hair, and I had like I said earlier, a spray bottle with water that I used to spray my hair. And then I used also shea butter. Shea butter is like, every natural will tell you about shea butter. Shea butter is your friend. It will make your hair soft. It will make your hair manageable, whether it's a raw shea butter or whipped shea butter. But then you must also really be careful here, because some products, they'll just have shea on the name just to mislead you. But when you read the ingredients, they don't have actual shea butter in the products. They just say shea butter base. But then what does that mean? Rather go for products that say that they're made from raw shea butter. So the first ingredient would be maybe unrefined or raw shea butter, and then they list all the other oils, for locking in the moisture, and then also shea butter is great. It is great for when you're doing your protective styles, or your styles that you like, for example, your twist that your bounty knots, or just styling it in general. It makes your hair soft and manageable, and then how I manage my hair is that I usually twist it on like maybe Sunday, and then I untwist it Monday morning before work, and then the twist out will last me like the whole week, and you must sleep with like a scarf or a bonnet or whatever you use to just protect your hair and to protect your curls. I like to finger comb my hair. But then for some people that might not be possible because of the texture of their hair. So you can use a wide tooth comb to comb it. But then I wouldn't advise for you to just be in your hair all the time, because then breakage. And then after taking out your braids or whatever style, always finger detangle on wet or damp hair first to avoid maximum hair loss. Like I said, make sure your hair is damp or it's wet, because if it's dry, then you're gonna lose a lot of hair, and just be patient. It will grow. You'll as time goes by, you'll know how to do this. You'll get used to the routine. You'll find quick ways of getting it done. Like for me in the morning, even when I'm putting on my wigs, like it's so quick. I have my bobby pins, like it's in. I style it here and there. That's not even take me more than 10 minutes. At most, it will take me about 7 minutes, because then I know my hair. I know how to do this and how to do that. And if anything else fails, just drop me a comment, an email, and I will be happy to answer any questions and assist. And then I think the next video that I'm going to do, I'll be talking about a podcast episode. I'll be talking about my love for shea butter and the advantages of shea butter, because you can use it on your hair, on your skin, for like massages, just like the many uses of shea butter and other oils. So but for this episode, it was just like an introduction and me talking about, like you heard, just what I did when I first, went natural. It's not as scary as it seems, People are usually complaining and saying, no, time, I don't even know what to do with it, But then that's from lack of information. And, sometimes you need to take the time to actually learn about your own hair, teach yourself about your own hair, If it's too late for you, then maybe for your child, if you have a daughter, so that you can do all of these things for your daughter, So it's really not as scary as people think going natural is, and you can be a lazy natural. Like, guys, I am lazy, so, but I'm able to, have natural hair and manage it, So I will see you guys. I won't see you guys, but then until the next episode, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please do not forget to like it, share it, subscribe, and come back again for the